Let me tell you something. This entrepreneurship is hard. Okay? And if you look for external sources to charge your battery, you will fail.
There's a problem with the battery.
What's up, Houston? Nah, that ain't. Let's go, because that's not loud enough.
You choose a song?
Loud, let's go. That's not loud enough.
No.
I said, what's up, Houston? That's the Houston I like right there. Loud, rowdy, about.
Yeah, it's been a good time. It's been a good time.
It was like, we want to give back. And what's important is, a lot of these guys on the stage, everybody didn't come for money. So there's no head start for any of us. We created this from scratch. No matter what you've learned on this stage or what you learned in the past or what you're gonna learn tomorrow, if your mind is not ready to be successful, you won't get there. And a lot of people think I just learned, because everything that these guys are gonna say, I hate to break it to you guys, everything that you can learn on this stage is already out there on the internet for absolutely free. Somewhere. You guys agree, right? But what happens is, one thing that's not talked about is the mind. What does it actually take? Does somebody know the number of what it takes to be in the 1% of America yearly income? $400,000. That's $100,000 every 3 months. That sound pretty hard? It doesn't. So what happens is, if you want to be in the 1% of America, you can't keep doing what the 99% of people do. And you can't think like the 99% of people think. And so, how many people do we have in this room? It's like 500 people or something like that? So like 600 people? So like the front row, y'all just stand up for me for a second, because I want to put this in perspective. That's 1% of America. That's 1% of this room. So think about that. So everybody else in here, day to day, 9 to 5, got to worry about financial decisions. It's only this amount of people in the world, this amount of people in this room that are in the 1%. Appreciate you guys, have a seat. So if you put that in perspective, you can't be doing or thinking the same way that the 99%. So one of the big things we do is we gotta unlearn. Number one, you have to feel like you deserve success. And that comes in putting in that work. I'm a first generation American. My parents did everything they could to make sure that I had the opportunity to be successful by coming to America and being able to realize the American dream. Yeah, man, you see it? Because of that, I felt obligated to start to build generational wealth. And a lot of us have been taught the same thing. Go to school, get a good education, get a good job. That don't work anymore. That was a dream that was sold to our parents and our grandparents in order for them to become great workers to make somebody else rich. Now, I'm not saying go out and quit your job, because Alex and I are not going to pay your bills. Nope. But you have to use your job to achieve your dreams. So don't get up and go quit. And so one thing that our parents never taught us was living way under our means and financial literacy. It's a big thing. I think it's equally as important to learn how to read as it is to learn financial literacy. Because if you can't manage a $40,000 income, you're not going to be able to manage a $400,000 income. It's the same principles across the entire board. So learn financial literacy and unlearn just a lot of your things. And here's another myth that our parents told us. Money doesn't grow on trees. Money absolutely grows on trees. They just didn't plant them in our backyard. So you have to go out and get them. Every day, I'm waking up with more money than when I went to sleep. I consider that money growing on trees. And you can do the same exact thing. So one thing that I know that every single person that you've seen on the stage, man or woman, throughout this evening, is that we've all made sacrifices. We all make certain sacrifices in order to get where we are today. So where you are now, you're not going to be able to live the same lifestyle you want in order to get over there. So you have to figure out what those sacrifices are. And believe it or not, my life changed in a very short amount of time. So where I was prepping my entire life from 0 to 30 and then going home to live with my mother at such an old age, right? Because I left home at 17 years old, came back at 30 as a broke man, right? Living in the same rules as if I was 15 back home. And so you have to understand that that whole time I was being prepped to get to where I am. So how many of you guys know the story of the bamboo tree? You may have heard this, the Chinese bamboo tree. To where when you plant this bamboo seed and you plant this tree, it grows underground for 5 years, never sprouting ever. You have to water and fertilize it every single day. And so if you take yourself, water and fertilizers, you have to feed your mind these things every single day. You have to work and become 1% better every single day. And for 5 years, nobody's ever gonna know that you've planted this tree. But after 5 years, the bamboo tree grows 90 feet in 5 weeks. 90 feet in 5 weeks. And so that's you, that's us. You've been prepped your whole life. So I don't care if you're 20, I don't care if you're 50, 60, or 80, it's never too late. Your 5 years may be different than my 5 years. You just have to believe that you deserve to have the success, but you're gonna have to make the sacrifice. The sacrifice for that bamboo tree is you have to water it and fertilize it every single day for 5 years. You can't miss a day. And so coming to events like these is watering, fertilizing yourself. And meeting the people you have in this audience is gonna help fertilize yourself to get to that next step. So a lot of people never actually do what they dream of because they're afraid of failure. Now, how many people are afraid of failure? Y'all lying. How many people are afraid of failing? We all are afraid of failing. So it stops us from even trying. And we're not afraid of failure because of, ourselves. We're cool with failing all the time. Like I try to sing in the mirror every morning. I fail every morning. One day I feel like I'm gonna wake up and have a good voice. I'm still working on it. But what happens is going out and singing in public is what I'm afraid of because of what other people are gonna say about me. It's the same thing. You don't wanna go out there and fail in front of people, your loved ones, your friends, your family, because you're afraid of what they're gonna say. And so how do you know that you're actually fertilizing the right thing? You go out there and you try these things. You try them. You don't wait till it's complete. You don't wait till you absorbed all the information before you go out there and go. So I have a question for the audience, and somebody probably will be brave enough to answer this. If you feel like you're supposed to be successful, everything, like you're supposed to be that person, why haven't you reached that point yet? And what do you think's holding you back? Who wants to answer that? I think this microphone right here is hot, so.
Anybody?
All right. Say that again.
There you go. So my question to you is, you believe you're supposed to be successful.
Yes.
Have you reached the point where you want to be?
No.
Okay, so what's holding you back? What's stopping you?
I feel like sometimes I lose motivation. Like I get to a point that I'm comfortable and then I don't do the next step where I really want to be. And I was talking to the girl that I just met. She and her husband are working through breaking the mindset what you were talking about earlier. Patterns, beliefs, different things, which I've been working on myself for the last few years and has helped me tremendously, but I haven't gotten to the point where I really want to be. So
my question to you is the point where you want to be, is it where you actually want to be, or is it where you see people on Instagram at?
Repeat that.
My question to you is, you say you want to be here, but you're here. Are you truly happy here, or do you want to only be here because you see it on Instagram?
No, I want to be here because I feel that I...
And why? Why do you want to be here?
I want to be able to provide for the future generations and parents and family in general.
So your parents right now?
Yes.
Okay. So, I'm going to try to put this nicest way possible.
It's okay, I can take it.
All right. So, I love my mom to death. That's the person I'd do anything for on this face of this earth. So, I don't need to be motivated to make sure my mom doesn't have to go work 40, 50 hours for somebody else, right? There's that alone in itself is a motivation. So when I asked you why you wanted to get to this level, maybe you need to dig deeper into yourself and find out why you truly need or want to get to that level. Because when you find true purpose, and when you truly believe in something, there's nothing that you don't need any outside motivation. Let me tell you something, this entrepreneurship is hard, okay? And if you look for external sources to charge your battery, you will fail. You need to be self-powered. Now, do I mean you don't need to be around people? Yes, I get energy every time I come to meet with these fellas here because they recharge me. But I don't depend on them to charge my batteries. So, because my mom is the most dearest thing to me in this universe, it strives me every day. And then, second, I have employees. I'm at 21 employees now. And I know that, yeah, I want to sleep in the bed for another 30 minutes. But what's the consequence of that? Do I miss the payroll? Do I miss a meeting that can add $100,000 to the bottom line that creates a Christmas bonus for the folks that work for me? And so when I stopped living for myself and started living for other people, I never needed motivation again, right? So you need to find that source. And you have it in you, because if you truly are not comfortable, or you're truly not happy where you are, you just have to find that purpose. What kind of business are you in? Real estate?
Yes.
Well, what'd you do last weekend?
Well, actually,
Saturday. What'd you do Saturday?
I have part-time with American Airlines at work all day on Saturday, so I didn't do anything with real estate, but
How long did you work?
13 hours.
Okay. What'd you do with the rest of the time?
Oh, just watch TV. Yeah. No, I know.
What'd you do Sunday?
I just moved, so it started organizing the place.
All day, 24 hours?
Not 24, but pretty long time.
Okay. What'd you do Monday? Don't lie to me.
No, that's all I remember. I went to see a house. I met with a contractor. Doing a flip. So
yeah.
It was productive, but and I know my weaknesses to a degree, right? Like I know my time management is not great. Organization skills is not great. Goal setting is not that great. And even though I see it and I know that I have to do this or I have to go somewhere or I should do that, sometimes I'm like, I'll do something else. Working out, I used to be very active, and then it got to a point that I was like, all right, like damn.
I mean, look at us. I mean, I can say that. It's
Taking shots, bro.
Look at me, man. Like I had to sacrifice working out for that portion of the life that I wanted to get to.
Yeah.
So I got to lose 30 pounds. You guys are gonna hold me accountable for that. But you see what I'm saying? So I sacrificed. Remember I talked about sacrifices? What was more important? Making sure my mom had a great birthday and making sure she retires and is completely done at the end of the year, or spending those 16 hours in the gym for the week, or those 8 hours for the gym in the week. And so maybe that's different for somebody else. Maybe somebody has to have that 1 hour a day. But to me, that was where that's where I burnt the time off. And so that Saturday, you going home and you watching Netflix or whatever your favorite thing is, you gotta make a sacrifice. You need to find that fire, something that charges your battery. And you need to allocate your time. Listen, I'm the same things as you mentioned that you're bad at, I'm bad at too. But there's something you're strong at, right? So you need to double down on that. So it compensates for what you're bad at. Nobody's good at everything. Don't ever let them lie to you about that.
Yep.
You're good at a few things, be real good at them. It will overcompensate for what you're bad at. And then when you have the money and the resources, hire somebody that is good at what you're bad at. Whatever excuse you want to use is gonna be valid, right? You don't have the contacts. When I had nothing, I would spend my last dollars on a $30 or $40 cigar to sit in a cigar room and meet some of the people I had no business speaking to. So if that's I had to, okay, I don't have the network, let me go get it. How can I be tactful about going to go find that network? And so every excuse that you have can be defeated by you just being resourceful. money is not the answer to a lot of what we think are problems. I appreciate you guys. I'm going to see you back on stage a little bit later. Thank you guys so much for being here.